Hey everyone, this is Tanner here with another practical tip to help you become leather savvy. Today I want to talk about two most common practices of leather tanning. I want to do this because I realize that is a confusing topic that has somewhat incomplete information online when you Google about it, and I would like to offer my insight as a person who has done both of those tanning techniques in the tannery in person myself. So, we're going to discuss vegetable tanned leather versus chrome tanned leather and what's good about them, what's bad about them, and how you can navigate the space better. So, let's start with the vegetable tanned leather, which is the premium end of things. It's more of the craftsmanship of the tanning industry. It is the oldest way of tanning leather using tannins derived from wood barks and trees. That has very specific characteristics that gives to the leather when you use that technique alone, and it ends up with a thicker, stiffer, and a shinier leather that looks very rich, very earthy, and the smell is amazing in most cases. That's the smell you probably associate to leather smell in general terms. It is harder to do, harder to master in the tannery sides, and it's difficult to perfect the craft. That's why it is practiced less and less in today's industry. Pretty much 10% of the leather you can find on the market or less is vegetable tan, and it's usually more expensive, more premium. It has its upsides, but it also has its downsides. Usually it's ending up with a stiffer leather, not being suitable for some uses in the craft. Number two is the chrome tan leather, which is a more modern technology using a mineral called chromium salts to tan the leather. It does the same thing. It preserves the leather for good permanently, but it is inorganic material since it's a mineral. And the practice initially, probably like decades ago, had some environmental effects and less than perfect tanning techniques ending in products that might be harmful to skin touch and all that health matters in the consumer end. But today, there's a lot of regulations, tests, and practices perfected this method of tanning, making it very, very common, easy, and perfect result at every time big tanneries can accomplish repetitively. So most of the leathers you can see in the market is chrome tan, about 90% to be precise. And it leads you with a softer, more pliable leather. It is more durable towards water stains, and it requires less to non-maintenance. Almost everything fixed into chrome tan leather is permanent, so it's not going to dry as much as a vegetable tan leather may. That might require some maintenance, but the chrome tan leather is easy to maintain, good forever, and ends up with a softer, still very durable leather and leather craft. There are parts that you need to be careful about. Again, the tanneries that are not perfected in this tanning technique might cause harm in the environment, or in the end product. Just try to be sure you're going for reliable brands which does all the checking for you to comply all those requirements of today. But there is a point in between that white and black areas, the gray point, that is usually the best of both worlds, in my opinion, gives us the best result in terms of leather quality and characteristics, which is the combination tanning technique. It is not much discussed in the online material I was able to find in this matter, so I wanted to touch on this since it's very important. Basically, the base tanning is done with chrome tanning, which is easier and gives you that soft material. But then, to add some characteristics of the vegetable tannins, we do a retanning process using heavy vegetable tannins to accomplish that stiffer, more pliable characteristic, especially if you're going to do personalization, burn logos or names into the end craft. This is going to be perfect if you complement your chrome tanning with a vegetable tanning retannage, giving you kind of best of both worlds. And that's my opinion. In today, it's practiced very, very commonly in a lot of tanneries that does good job tanning leathers. Most of the things out of those 90% of leathers that are chrome tanned, labeled as chrome tan, most likely has some form of vegetable retanning that gives that very balanced characteristics to the end of the craft. So to summarize it all, number one, vegetable tan leather. It is the premium version of the craft. It's done by master tanneries and master craftsmen. It takes longer, but it ends up with a beautiful product, a shinier, glossier grain in most cases, a little stiffer, but smells awesome. It is definitely the premium option you can go for. It's more expensive but rare. It's not that common in the market. It's not easy to find a good one either. Two, chrome tan leather, which is 90% of the leather in the market today. And the craft is pretty much perfected by most of the major tanneries, and there's good regulations to ensure the harmful practices are not done. As long as you're buying your crafts from a good, reliable brand, they do the checking for you, so you should be comfortable doing so. And my favorite option is a combination tannage, which is chrome-based tanning complemented with a retannage done by heavy vegetable tannins that gives you a blend of a best blend of both worlds. So I guess whenever you're buying a chrome tan leather, it's gonna be a combination format anyways today, in major tanneries doing it that way to accomplish the ideal result. So you should be comfortable getting a good craft regardless if it's a vegetable tan or a chrome tan leather, as long as it's coming from a reliable brand. I hope this helps you navigate the space better next time you're shopping for leather goods. Thanks for watching.